Welcome to another Tech Ambrosia Quick Sip. In this video, I want to show you how I'm recording analog VGA video from a variety of sources, including some retro sources that are difficult to record from, using a conventional HDMI capture card. All set? Bottoms up. At first blush, recording VGA video output from a vintage PC doesn't seem like that difficult of a task. After all, HDMI capture cards are commonplace, as are VGA to HDMI adapters. But if you've actually tried it, especially at the sometimes odd resolutions and refresh rates that vintage hardware outputs, you'll find these video signals, which will more than happily drive an old CRT monitor, are simply unintelligible to capture devices expecting clean, well-defined aspect ratios and relatively low refresh rates. So, what can you do about it? Sadly, as it is for most niche interests, the solution is to spend more money. But what do you spend it on? That is an excellent question, and one that has been answered by the users of the Vintage Computing and Games forum Vogons. Vogons users, either in pursuit of their hobby or for preservation reasons, have sought to record vintage computer video as cleanly and with as much fidelity as possible. They, too, immediately noticed the trend of capture cards dropping support for older video resolutions, and held on to vintage capture gear in order to preserve their recording capabilities. Eventually, though, the advent of high frame rate video publishing on sites like YouTube and Vimeo meant that they would need to move to the newer breed of high frame rate capture cards and deal with the loss of vintage resolution recording. But how? This is where we are today, and there are two ways, broadly speaking, to record a VGA, CGA, AGA, or similar video signal. Yes, I know, AGA isn't a video signal. If you've ever tried to capture video from an Amiga, though, you know what a pain in the butt it can be. Anyway, as I was saying, there are basically two methods to record these vintage video formats on a modern computer. Use a capture card that understands the video formats directly, or use a converter box that can turn signals into something your capture card can understand. Cards that can understand VGA directly and capture at high frame rates are expensive, so I, personally, use the latter option. I'm recording into a conventional HDMI capture card with a StarTech VGA to HDMI Pro converter between my vintage PC and my capture card. I have everything plugged into a low-cost HDMI switch so that I can easily change recording sources without swapping cables. That's made recording a variety of vintage computers fairly easy, and the RealTime Monitor output from my capture card means I can view the system lag-free on my main monitor. There are a number of converter boxes that do this, and all of them come with compromises. Mine, for example, needs to have its video position fine-tuned after almost every resolution change, and will display the detected resolution as well as its output resolution on the screen for several seconds following a resolution change, which can be frustrating for programs or games that change resolutions or frame rates frequently. If you're looking at getting one of these, I highly encourage you to read reviews from people using it for your specific use case. That's it. I hope this can shed some light on an unusual or interesting piece of technology, and you're able to apply it to better your life or the lives of others. Thank you for watching this Tech Ambrosia Quick Sip. Have a good night.